I don't really know what to say about this game. Because it was just absurdly weird. Everything about it. Yeah. Woohoo! Hey, we are in a snow week. Yeah. Can't get any better. Hello, welcome to Hawks Recap. Game number 5 just happened. And the Hawks lose to the Minnesota Wild. What was the final score? Hawks lose 5-2 to the Minnesota Wild. Wild gained their first win of the season, and it comes at the hands of the Hawks at the United Center. This game, however, was not a 5-2 shellacking by the Minnesota Wild. If you did not watch this game, count yourself lucky, count your blessings, because it was ugly at times. It was weird. If you want to look at the first period in the bubble, yes, you could probably say the Wild shellacked the Blackhawks 5-2. In that first period, the Wild had all the pressure, all the offensive zone time. They were making plays. They were out skating the Hawks. They were winning the battles. Their defense was pitching at the right times. They had sticks in the passing lane, disrupting anything the Hawks were doing. The Hawks couldn't do anything they were trying to do. They tried to make a pass. No, they'd whiff on the pass. They tried to get out of the zone. Nope. It would get blocked or kept in. If they did somehow make a tape-to-tape pass, the puck would bounce over their stick. It was weird. Nothing was going right for the Hawks, and the Wild were taking advantage of it. However, Corey Crawford stood on his head and made a bunch of saves and kept it 0-0 at the first intermission. The shot total for the first period was 8-6 in favor of the Wild. I don't know how they came up with 6. I counted maybe 1 or 2 for the Hawks. Tops. It was pretty awful. When you get dominated like that and still come away at the end of a period tied, you're looking good. You're thinking, great, we can make some changes, we can fix this, and we can somehow steal this game back and steal momentum, grab some goals, and just demoralize the other team. Second period begins. Wild still pressuring, still causing havoc for the Hawks. Hawks really can't get anything going. Wild still have their sticks in passing lanes. Nothing's coming easy. Tough mudding for sure. But then about 8 minutes into this period, Hayden and Foligno go at it. Foligno, pretty darn good fighter. Hayden, he's a rookie, but he's standing up for himself, and he's pretty much losing most of this fight. And then right at the end, he gets a little bit of balance. Foligno goes and takes the helmet off Hayden, but right as he does that, Hayden winds up with a right haymaker, connects, and completely changes the scope of this second period. Hawks start getting things going. They start getting some offensive zone time. They get a power play within this. They get a shift where they're in the offensive zone for what seems like forever. The Minnesota Wild players seem to be dead, basically. They get some shots. Somehow, Dominic keeps the puck out of the net. There's one from Panic that I don't know how it doesn't go in. I think Spurgeon just baseball bats it off the goal line, up and over. Just nothing's really going right. Still, the Hawks are still having trouble with puck luck, not going their way. Passes, tape-to-tape passes, bouncing over their stick. They're trying to pass the puck, and they're whiffing. It's weird. It's just so weird. But they're dominating play in the second. They basically outshoot the Wild by a ratio of 2-1 in this second period. I think it was like 16-9. It was the Hawks completely take this game over, and then about 30 seconds left in this period, the Wild get a chance, a 2-on-1, and Koivu squeaks it by Crawford. Crawford slides awkwardly over. He really should have had it. It actually hits him pretty much in the chest and kind of just somehow squeezes through. I don't really know how. Puck luck just not there. And the Wild, after getting pretty much dominated in that second period, at least late in that second period, somehow go into the third period with a 1-0 lead. All right, okay, that's fine. It sucks, but things happen. We're starting to play better. We can build on this. We can tie this game up and just take control in the third period and win this game. We can do this. Third period begins. Still tough sledding for the Hawks. Hawks end up killing off a penalty early in the third period. PK looked pretty good once again. About 8 minutes into this third period, Kane has the puck on his stick. Everybody on the Wild seems to just fixate on Kane. Flashbacks from previous playoffs, they're not letting him score. That's for sure. Well, they kind of forget about two guys right near the net, Carroll and Hartman. Kane just floats the puck on net. Dubnyk can't really see anything because Carroll's right in his face screening. He gets a redirection, it hits off Dubnyk. Ryan Hartman's all alone, cleans up the rebound. We have a tie game. Things are starting to look better. Very shortly after that, Hawks still pressing. They're looking to take a lead. Anisimov has a golden opportunity to put the Hawks up 2-1. The puck comes off a rebound straight to him. He has basically a wide open side of the net. Puck gets to his stick, rolls on him. He flutters a shot. It gets by Dubnyk, and it hits not one, but two posts and stays out. It's times like these where you're just thinking, tonight's just not going to be our night. We just cannot get anything good happening puck related. I don't know what it is, if it's the ice. It doesn't seem like it's the ice because Minnesota Wild just don't seem to be having this problem. But the puck seems to always be hopping or doing something not beneficial to the Hawks during this entire game. It's just straight up bizarre, and it sucks. But it happens. Midway through the third period, Hawks have it in the offensive zone. They're looking pretty good. They are trying to strike, trying to get that lead. Taves passes the puck back to the point, back to Seabrook. Just before it gets to Seabrook, it hits some sort of rut and just launches into outer space over Seabrook's stick. Seabrook is now in scramble mode, trying to get back. He's not the fastest skater. Zucker beats him to the puck. There's a kind of a scramble to it, but Zucker ultimately gets it at the blue line. It's 2-on-1. Zucker passes it past Keith to Stewart, who has a tap-in past Crawford. And the Wild take a 2-1 lead, just killing the momentum the Hawks had been gaining. But wait. Let's go to the replay because it kind of looks like Zucker might have been offside there. Coach Q challenges the play. I'm thinking pretty good challenge. It looks like he is offside just from the videos and replays that are being presented not only on the television screen for viewers at home like me, but also at the arena on the scoreboard. Same feeds going on. You could see and hear the reaction of the crowd who, yes, they're biased towards the Blackhawks, but looking at the feeds that were shown, look like this is getting overturned. It looks like the puck goes off Seabrook's skate into the zone after Zucker is flailed from Seabrook fighting for the puck. He's flailed himself into the zone early, past the blue line before the puck enters, and therefore should be offside. It looks like he is offside. No goal. It should be no goal. Pretty easy. I don't know why these refs are taking so long. It's been 2 minutes. It's been 3 whole minutes now. It is taking forever. I don't know what they're seeing, but it shouldn't be that hard of a call. The linesman gets off his headset. He gets away from his little tablet. He has a little powwow with the rest of the referees. It's kind of concerning now, but we're still expecting the best. Referee comes out to center ice to presumably say that the goal has been overturned because it was offside, but instead he says, quote unquote, after video review, the ruling on the ice stands, we have a good goal. What? How? After everything we just saw, how can you tell me that this stands? Zucker was clearly in the offensive zone well before the puck was, and he definitely was not possessing it. He is clearly offside by everything we've seen. But now we're in guess mode because nobody is explaining anything. Nobody at home knows what's going on. Nobody at the United Center knows what's going on. Are you saying that because the puck hit off Seabrook's skate and into the zone that it negates offsides? The rules say that you have to pass or possess the puck into your defensive zone for it to negate offside. But hitting the skate, not deliberately, back into the zone is not possessing or passing. So that doesn't make any sense. Nothing about this makes any sense. This is the the worst part about all of the challenges that the NHL has had throughout the years since they put challenges in, they do not explain anything. They don't do what other leagues do, where they actually step the fans and everyone who's watching through the call and why they make the call. I get that if it's not conclusive, that it stands. It stands. But from everything we just saw, this was conclusively offsides. Thankfully, people with internet can get a little bit closure, because if we remember, the person who passed it to Seabrook was Jonathan Toews, a Blackhawk. And since the puck did not have possession from either Seabrook or Zucker before it got into the Blackhawks' defensive zone, technically Jonathan Toews passed the puck back into the zone, and therefore it is onside. Well, thanks a lot, NHL, for explaining that to us. To everyone who saw clearly from the replays that were shown on the broadcast and in the arena that it should have been offsides. Why? Why does this have to be so freaking hard? And of course, to pour salt on the wound, the Blackhawks, under the new rule, are given a minor penalty for a failed offside challenge. Great. And now to pour even more salt on the wound, on the ensuing power play, the Wild take advantage. Zucker bounces the puck off Crawford into the net, and the Wild somehow, just like that, have a 3-1 lead. A lot of people already do not like this rule. The jury is still out for me, even though this went against the Hawks and it sucks. I want to see how this plays out in the large, grander scheme of things and not really just focus on a single bad event, if that makes sense. So I'm not going to really rush judgment quite yet, but right now it obviously does not feel too good. The worst thing for me is the lack of communication by the NHL and the referees to everyone involved. The people watching at home, the people watching in the arena, the players playing the game, the coaches coaching the game. Nobody really knows because nothing is explained. Coach Q called for the ref to come over and explain it. He could have said Jonathan Toews passed it in, therefore he passed it into his own zone because nobody got control of it. Well, that would have been great, but no, he doesn't even come over to talk to Coach Q. Why? Why not? This completely destroys the mental aspect of everyone involved. Ever since the offside challenge has gotten integrated into this game, we've seen inconsistencies of calls that just have not gotten explained. So nobody knows anything. It's infuriating. The penalty for me is not even an issue right now because the communication or lack thereof seems to be the larger issue that needs to be addressed. I could go on and on ranting, but I'm not going to. Coach Q pulls Crawford with about 4 minutes left. It backfires. Minnesota scores an empty netter. They would score another empty netter a little bit later. I don't really disagree with pulling Crawford. I think 4 minutes might have been too much time on the clock. Ultimately, it failed because we didn't win an offensive zone faceoff, and that it's the same for the second empty netter. We did not win the offensive zone faceoff. I don't have any problem with pulling the goalie in that situation. I probably would have waited until about 2.5 to 3 minutes instead of 4 minutes, but that would be just judging it based on the result, because if it worked, then you would think it was a genius move. So Toews would then score a goal, or he'd get credit for a goal off a Forsling shot that just pinballed off a couple players, including Toews, into the net past Dubnyk, and the Wild win 5-2. Like I said, it really wasn't a 5-2 game. That score doesn't tell the story of this game. Hopefully this loss fuels the Hawks a little bit, especially after the shenanigans that went on, and the fact that they really haven't played all too great the last 3 games. They play the Preds next, at home. I will be at that game. Hopefully things go a lot better. Hopefully the puck decides to not act like a basketball, and hopefully the Hawks come out with a victory. Thanks for watching this episode of Hawks Recap. I hope you somehow enjoyed this. Like, subscribe, share. Just be safe, make good decisions, and I'll see you next time.